finally, it's the first day of the well dig here on the homestead, and it's still cool this morning, so we're working hard early on instead of when it gets really, really hot this afternoon. And we're gonna be digging a well. We're about, I don't know, 100 feet outside the front door of the cabin. We do have water that's semi-close here. We got a pond, but it's nasty, brackish water. We wanna get a water source a little closer to us. Oh, there's that water. They build their cabin semi-close to water, but not too close. You don't want to get washed away, and then dig a well a little bit closer to their cabin. So that's what we're doing now. This well is going to be 3 or 4 feet in diameter and anywhere from 10 to 12 feet deep, depending on exactly where we're going to find water. We're going to line this with some old kegs. We'll talk about that later when we get to that part of the digging. Right now, it's just the hard work of getting into that soil.
Take it, fellas. Carbon. All right, there you go.
Okay, we're down 5 feet, maybe a little bit deeper, and we're starting to really see what I've been wanting to see, and that is, this is really dense clay right here. But down about 5 feet, and probably deeper, we have these layers of sand, and as we dig them up, you can almost see what's going on. Once we got past about 1.5 feet, we got past the soil that has a lot of organic matter in it, and then we got down to the subsoil, which was hard gray clay, and now we've got these stripes of sand. It's very fine sand, but it's sand, and that allows the water to kind of move subsoil all the way through this entire field. Now we're on a slope, and there's a sand deposit way up here about 300 feet at the top of the hill, which is kind of weird. But so rain comes down at the top of the hill, goes through that sand and down into that fine sand layer, and then runs underneath this soil that we have here. And obviously we've got this water running at about 5 or 6 feet deep. We'll go a couple feet deep, deeper than we are at right now, to see if we run into anything else. But as I'm standing here, the hole's filling up. So unless we want to go a lot deeper, this may be the layer of water that we're going to be using. So we'll dig a little bit further, keep widening this hole out a little bit, see what we run into. Definitely getting grittier down here. Look at that. Look at how gravelly that is. Now instead of fine sand, we're hit coarse sand. That's what we're looking for. go. Pull. I got enough mud out. Like, we can really start to see the water flow into this. We've definitely hit a gravel layer instead of just sand. That's what I really wanted to see. So I think we're pretty much to the depth. Of course, we need to be down deep enough so that, we can scoop that water out with a bucket. So it needs to be, 6, 8 inches at least. Deeper than that, maybe 2 foot would be a lot better. And then we're almost there. So probably another half a day's worth of digging just to get it so that the water is deep in the well. And then we'll be ready to put the liner in. Here we are, morning of the 3rd day. So we kind of finished off at about 7.5 feet last night. It started filling in with water. We could kind of see it pouring in. The big question was, how deep would the water get overnight? And here we are with our testing stick here, and we have easily more than 2 feet of water in the bottom of this well. This is really looking good. We got to have enough water in the bottom so that the bucket comes down, kind of turns on its side, and then it fills up with water. We need to put rocks down at the bottom of the well. Rocks, about softball size. So we're gonna dig this out another 6, 8 inches or so, and then put a layer of nice big rocks in the bottom for our liner to set upon. We want rocks in the bottom so that when the bucket goes down, it doesn't scoop up mud off the very bottom. And it also helps the liner not sink down into the well. Now, what are we using for a liner? You've probably seen images of 19th and 20th century hand-dug wells like this, and they have a brick liner or a stone liner. That's really very common for a well that's going to last a long time. A well in this kind of situation probably doesn't have to last more than 3 or 4 or 5 years. So we're going to do a liner much quicker. We're going to use old barrels. We're going to knock the 2 ends out so it's just a hollow cylinder, and we're going to put these down the well, one on top of another, probably 3 barrels deep, and this top barrel will be above ground. Well liners like this were something that happened. They have documentation of these down in St. Augustine, Florida. And also up in our area, while they may have used barrels, they also used very large hollow logs for exactly the same purpose. So they would use something like a sycamore tree that grows very large diameter, and they tend to grow hollow at times. Perfect well liner. So I think even in the bark covered house, he mentions a button tree log, which is a sycamore tree. There you go. Okay, now It's gonna be pretty cool. Okay. I don't know what you're saying. It's not tilted. It's not there yet. It's probably got another 8 inches.
Oh, really? Right. It's not overloaded. One more.
We have a functional well. This is looking great. As a project where I sort of envision it, this has been one of the most successful ones we've ever done here on the homestead. This is exactly like I expected it to be. We are 7.5, 8 feet deep. We have at least 1.5 feet of water in the bottom, more like 2 feet of water. The kegs that we used to line this well worked perfectly. We set them up one on another, packed the soil around them. Everything looks great. The water is clearing up. It's cold. It's great. This well is going to be perfect for the homestead. We just have one thing that we have to finish up with this well. We have to come up with some crane system to bring this bucket up and out of the well to make it a little bit easier. I've got a plan for that. We're going to come up with a stick crane that will bring this water up and out of the well. It'll make it really easy. So it's been almost 3 years since we completed the cabin project, the beginning of this whole homestead. And almost right away we wanted to do a well. We need to have water, and finally we've gotten to finish that up, and it's worked out just perfectly. So I'm really, really happy the way this is coming together and everything else is coming together. It's so exciting. Hey, I want to thank you for being part of this project, watching the videos, kind of giving us support. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. And I can't wait to get working on this crane. This is going to be the finishing touch to the well.